Hi guys, just a quick secondary animation type of tutorial thing. Um, I've had a lot of requests for when people are animating characters, um, when they're stood still, when they're either in a transitional phase between one action to another, and they're stood still for, I don't know, 5 seconds. Um, it's very apparent that they're still and they're very static. This is because we're never still. We're always balancing. Um, and if you look at game characters, um, if you just look at the kind of breathing animation, they're widely kind of over exaggerated because they are fictional characters. It's very subtle, but with fictional characters you want to over exaggerate as well. And you'll see the breathing, you'll see the kind of the chest puffing tiny bits in and out, but then that's propelling the neck and the head and sometimes the arms, and the pelvis is raised up and down, which you don't actually do when you're breathing. You always balance left to right on your pelvis. So it is different for kind of like a kind of real life situation animation and a fictional animation, and I'm just going to explain some secondary motion kind of techniques and theory. So what I've got is basically three bones kind of going left to right, swinging. And if you look at the keyframes for the first one, it's just every 20 frames. So that's great. I'm going to put auto key on. But if it's a three-sectional thing like a tail or something, it's not going to be like that because momentum is going to kick in. So every time when this gets to 20, as this bone kind of goes back to kind of straighten up, this bone is still going to be there because of momentum. So let's animate that. We're just going to put a keyframe in there. Okay, and then at 30 I'm going to bend it kind of here. So it's, can you see what's going on there? And then there, I'm going to keyframe it. Actually no, I'm just going to leave it like this. And then what we can do now is just cut and paste frames. That's like that on the 45th, and that's like on the 30th. So just before the main bone goes to go up, which it should be on the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 frames, so the 60 frames, what we do is we go 5 frames up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bend it down again. So now we're getting this kind of effect. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 85, we got that. There it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically what I'm trying to get is these frames are staggered. If you look at the frames for the main bone, they're every 20 frames. So you've got 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so on. If you look at the secondary bone, which is the child link, they're staggered, and they're not 2, 4, 6. They're actually 2 and then 3, which is just starting me off there. You don't have to have that. And then to loop it, instead of 2, 4, 6, you're adding 5. So you've got 45, 65, 85, and it's kind of doing that. And then the top bone would be even more staggered. So let's select these, you'll see there's the frame for the first bone, there's the frame for the second bone, and then the third bone is going to be even more staggered. So we're looking at 45 is when this one hits, so we're looking at 50 kind of, and this one drags. So that one, 45, it starts to pick up, so we're going to 70 there like this. Don't worry about the beginning, I mean, so boom, and that swings down like this. There we go. So you've got this kind of motion going on. And don't worry about the beginning, I've not done the beginning. But we can. Boom. Yeah. So now you've got like this tail swinging, and it looks a lot better. Now this theory can be applied in a character, breathing or I don't know, whatever. Let's just open my character from Warcraft. Okay, now basically I've got a Death Knight here, and he's just standing here, doesn't know what he's doing. I'll let's get rid of that. Let's put another layer on him with nothing on it. Okay, so I'm going to make this guy breathe. Let's just hide. No, I've not got any helpers or anything here, so I apologise. I'll have to pick on the bones. And how I'll do that is I'll just hide his armour and all this stuff. Okay, and I'll freeze him so I don't accidentally pick on him. If you're wondering, these dummies are for linking objects to. I like to put dummies in because it makes things a lot less complex. Okay, so I'm just going to move him into position before I start any key work. Just hide that. I'll freeze it. Oh. Freeze it, yep. Okay. Just going to move him into a decent position. Let's bend this down. Let's say I've not got any gizmos kind of set up so I can grab his bones easily. It's not fully rigged yet. Okay, there we go. Let's just have an arm kind of. Oops. An arm kind of out. This one kind of out. I know you don't stand like this, but never mind. He is. Okay. Let's just make him like this. Alright. And I'll have his head up. Okay, so I want him to be stood. Always make sure when you've posed him, make sure his pelvis is right, because if he's like that, he's not going to be standing up, he's going to be falling over, or if he's the opposite way, he's going to be doing a Michael Jackson and leaning over. So let's not do that. Let's just do him kind of there. He could take his weight there. Okay, so I want him to breathe really quickly. I want to do this in like less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to go 20th frame. I'm going to move his pelvis down a bit. Okay, so now I've got this type of thing going on, which is quite over exaggerated because your pelvis doesn't do this. Now instead of making frames, I'm just going to cut and paste frames. So I'm going to copy the first frame and go 40, and the second frame and go 60, and you can just keep doing this. Okay, there we go. Or you can do it like this. So there you go, I've got him breathing there, but that looks a bit false. So I'm going to add some secondary. So instead of that being on 246, I'm going to go on 25. I'm going to rotate this just a tiny bit down. Okay, that's too much, I think. Okay, 22 should do. So then I'll just grab all this. 22, so I'm looking at 44. That starts at 44. Okay, and then and so on. Okay, so now that's already looking not bad. And then we'll get the head, and the head's going to move after. So the further you go up the chain from the root node, the later on the animation is going to be. So the head is going to be kind of what was we on 22, so we're going to go on 26, and we're going to rotate this down. Now this is really exaggerated, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's 20, actually go 25, so we've got a nice even number, 25, and then we're going to start from 50 here. So now, there we go. So there you go, you've got a little animation there, and it's staggered. And that's basically the theory of what I wanted to get across. Just have different goals with different things. You can carry on and do the arms, and just think about how your body will work. Don't put frames in everywhere for everything. You don't need to. The staggered system is far better. So I hope that was helpful. Give me a PM if you've got any questions, or go on the forum. So thanks very much. Good luck.